on CGI footages of space. I think he's tagging on to his last question there, Ozian. So, um, if you want to
He's
go,
asking why there's no stars.
why are the stars and
Exposure.
satellites always
Yeah.
missing?
Why
From LJ.
there's stars sometimes. You can see stars when you look at the ISS. You can take pictures of the ISS and there's stars in the background of the ISS. You can take pictures of the ISS from Earth and see stars. You can see the ISS crossing the moon and see the moon.
Hey,
So yeah, you can see the ISS from the surface of the Earth and see stars. So there.
All right. Let's carry on.
Does he want a screen share? Like,
He really does. I know.
well, I can
LJ.
show a screen share if you want me to. Like,
If you want to put up your screen, that's cool.
ISS from Earth.
But what I'll ask is if you do a screen share that you let LJ, sorry, not LJ, LJ's the super chatter, you let Big Country respond to some of the things that you've been saying here. Even
I've
though
got to
LJ
send
is
Ozian a lot of the stuff I have because I
very
have
mean in the chat.
a
He's going to be
ton of
coming back at you.
stuff
You
he can
know
pull
he
up.
will, Ozian. So
Oh,
Pictures of the
sure,
ISS
sure.
Ozian, get that up. But
from,
did you
Yeah,
put
we
from
can
your
your
arrange
own.
I don't
Big
know if I
Country?
have one ready available, but
Yeah, there's. I think what he's specifically asking is when they take pictures of satellites in space, that there's no stars in the background. I think that's what he's asking. Just keep it.
okay.
Just keep it rocking. Just keep it rock. I gotta.
I
Yeah,
think I found one, but I only see one star because he zoomed. Oh, I see two stars next to it. But I mean, it's not very good picture because they're zoomed in. I can't find it now. Anyways, it's hard to find one. I'm not prepared for it.
no worries.
But I found one. Oh, I can share this, I guess.
All right, let's keep it quick, just for the sake of our other speaker here.
Yeah, I don't know why we're sharing. Anyways, I don't want to. Hey, can you see it? There's like two little dots. It looks like stars. If that's the best picture I could find at the time you gave me. Two little dots. I don't know if you can see it on the screen share, but that's what I got. Maybe there's other ones, but I'm sure somebody can find one on Discord somewhere. But anyways, two little dots on here.
We can see
One,
that.
two.
Let's
Okay.
carry on there, Ozian. And thank
can
you.
see, yeah.
Also, Big Country. I know you said you had to go there earlier, but we've just been carrying on. Honestly, I've been going way too long today to sell myself, so you can hear. I've got to get to bed soon too. I'm sorry, Wilson says, why is it that from Ohio I can't buy a telescope and see Mount Everest?
You can't see forever. I don't know why. This is a constant question on these debates. Of course, you have things like dust, debris, smog, atmosphere conditions of the day. Can't see forever. It's due to perspective. There you go.
Scary on Witsit gets it. Thanks, Witsit, for your super chat there. Ocean's waving to you.
Shout out Witsit. Hit me up, homie.
Everybody's just having a moment. Yes. Witsit gets it asked.
All right, so there's two.
Can you attribute physical proprieties to conceptual abstractions? Yes or no?
If it's purely conceptual, no. But if it's an axiom
Witset's my
or
favorite.
Yes.
what do they call it in science? I just had it like yes, if it's an axiom and like Bell's theorem, and we do a test and we verify if Bell's theorem is
Me too.
supported, the axioms are supported, then it gives justifications for those axioms to be true, which is those conceptual things to be true. I don't know why he asks me this every time, but
Alright,
yes.
well, he follows
So,
up.
and we gave a Nobel Prize for that.
He follows up Ozian and he says, also, what would you accept
Hang out for the
as
after show.
falsification of the globe?
Falsification for the globe. Pictures from space of the flat Earth.
That's a good one.
All
Or
right.
the Outer Lands. I'll tell you what, take me to the Outer Lands. Take me to Narnia.
All right. Take Ozian and Narnia,
Yes.
and you will have him.
Seeing no curvature
Witsit
as
gets
high
it.
as you,
Follows
the
up
higher
and
you
he
go, you
says,
see no
"Ever
curvature.
find
That
a
would
real
falsify the globe.
picture of
Yep.
Antarctica from space?
Tons of mosaics because the satellites do polar orbits and they are lower altitude.
are-
It takes it's harder to insert
There are
satellites
pictures from
into
Antarctica from
polar
space.
orbits
There are.
Mhm.
due to the forces involved because of the gravitational forces.
No, Ozian, there
Alright,
are pictures
Before we
of
move it into our
Antarctica from
1 minute
space.
closers, Melissa Schultz, last question. What can I routinely see? Why can I routinely see boats 20 miles away from the beach on the Great Lakes? Should they? I got to pad this a little bit because there's no. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Melissa,
this is
there's
the last
no
one.
pronunciation. What can I routinely see boats 20 miles
Punctuation.
away from the beach on the Great Lakes? I should be 200 feet below the curve. I use marine traffic for location of boats.
I'd have to see her measurements. I'd have to see
What's her
her
elevation?
altitude. I'd have to see the height of the ship. So some of those ships are like 100 feet tall. If you're a couple hundred feet in altitude, that's going to go into the curve calculation. You also have atmospheric refraction. It seems hard because a lot of times the Great Lakes, it depends on the time of year too. Weather conditions, they're pretty like foggy a lot of times. I'm surprised you can see that far anyways, but I guess some conditions you can see like 80 miles. You can see like I think like the Chicago skyline sometimes. Like it's like 60, 80 miles away due to refraction.
But that's a mirage, Ozian, remember? Remember the
Yeah.
talking point? That's just a mirage.
Sometimes
I want to give big countries some
that's
time
due to
to respond.
refraction.
So, any thoughts on this?
Well, he was
question?
asking me a question. He asked me a question.
I understand.
He says, right, Ozian?
You responded, and if he has any follow up, let's. I just want to let him know that he has some time here if he wants to respond. If not, we'll move into the 1 minute closers. So
Yeah,
big
no,
country-
I say that's a big contention for the globe here is that obviously there's plenty of times where we can see too far. So
Hey, I'm gonna run and jump in the
Short and sweet.
shower, but I will be back.
All right.
All right.
Anything
How about shower?
lastly to say, Melissa Schultz there, Ozian?
No, I'd be interested in seeing the observations.
All right.
Thanks.
As per usual, you know me, UK style. Ozian,
That's a goal.
floor. Your closing thoughts on our discussion this evening.
Yeah, I think the diversity of life is best explained by us existing in the Goldilocks zone. I see no explanation for why we have a pressure gradient from the flat Earth. I see no explanation for how we get heated up, how we cool down at night. I see no explanation for how the laws of thermodynamics could even be possible on the flat Earth model. I see no explanation for the day and night cycle, the seasons, why the sun sets, why the sun rises. No explanation. No explanation for tides. No explanation for why even fish exist. Why do fish exist? How is it even possible for humans to live on the flat Earth? Like, I don't think it's possible. I think we would either overheat and die or freeze and die. I think we'd be a frozen wasteland. Actually, we'd be heat death right now due to the law of thermodynamics. And that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ozian, for your closing statement. We're going to kick it over to Big Country. You have 1 minute on the floor. Your closing thoughts on the statement or this discussion and where everybody can find you, of course.
yeah, man, thanks so much. Thank you, Ryan, for hosting. Ozian, appreciate you debating tonight. I think we kept it pretty civil. Thank you for not rage quitting. That's cool.
Big props on that.
Based on the last one, yeah. But yeah, so this is a fun conversation. I enjoy doing these. There's only so much you can talk about with so much time. But obviously, we talked about a lot of different things. Still waiting to see that test of pressurizing gas without a container using only gravity. So maybe we'll see that in the future. But I'll wrap it up real quick because I do have to go. But I believe I sent the link tree over to James to him to put in the description, but there is a link tree, linktree.com/WB Conspiracies. It has all of our links. We do 5 different shows, 4 that I'm involved with. We have like a store where you can buy shirts. I'm wearing a shirt. This is my hat. We all designed all this stuff. So I'm really cool there. Currently working on actually creating a game studio. I'm designing my own video game too. So
Can
stay
you
tuned for
imagine
that.
a
But
Flutter
doing a lot
video
of different
game?
things. And thanks so much. Hopefully we'll do it again. Maybe a different topic next time.
What's the genre?
Awesome.
the
One of
There
them
you
is
go. Educational.
the game I'm working on is
Educational
like a
game.
conspiracy game, sort of like you find out that your family is actually in
Left
the secret
Behind.
society. So like I guess it's a conspiracy.
Ooh.
And then the other one is like a remake from a Sega game from '93. It was called General Chaos. It was one of my
Oh, you're
favorite
gonna
games.
get owned
I'm just
on that
remaking
one. Don't
with,
make that
Unity,
game.
So stay tuned.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cons-
Awesome. It
Yes!
sounds like
I called
we
it.
probably
I
grew up on the
called
same
it.
genre of games. I know me and Ozian appreciate similar games as well. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah, we can chit chat about that in the after show, or if you want to hang out on the Zoom afterwards. I appreciate everybody here at Modern Day Debate hanging out in the live chat, as well as Ozian and Big Country for having this discussion. If you have any yeah, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Share this out in those contentious spaces where you like to have those live discussions. Um, Honestly, I've got to get myself to bed though because I was up till like what 3 o'clock last night screaming rock and roll. You know how it goes for old Rye here, uh, doing all my Led Zeppelin nonsense. So I got to get out of here and just. Blah. And good night, everybody.
Night.
I think it would be a detective mystery. I think that's what the game would be. It'd be like a detective mystery.
I think it would suck, to be perfectly honest.
Maybe.
All right, we have us back here. The after show is beginning. Thank you, everyone. For those of you who hang out in the chat, thank you, everyone, for being here. We had a pretty awesome watch party, and let's get right into it. Us, how did you feel? Give us your feelings, your thoughts on the debate.
I gave a presentation, then we just talked about pressure or whatever we talked about.
Yeah, one thing that we noticed, you left. Was it intended for the text to be overlaid with the images? It wasn't too clear.
Yeah, whatever.
Now, maybe just
I was
a
trying
tip
to
for the
figure
next
out how to
time.
do it. So, and it would probably, was it not clear?
No, we couldn't. Things got in the way of each other.
Oh, maybe I
Just-
should just remove the text.
Yeah, for next
Yeah,
time.
Maybe next time I'll remove the text.
All right. So typical after show fashion, and the question I like to ask is, who won the debate? Let's start with Billy.
Yeah, Elgin definitely, I would say, won this one because Big Country was not able to, I felt, prove his case or even show any type of evidence at all. It didn't seem like so. That wasn't based on pseudoscience. Let's be clear on that. Yeah. All right.
Well,
That's pretty much all.
when he
all I
told
have to
me,
say about him.
sorry to interrupt you. When he told
No,
me
no.
his background, when I knew his background, is like, oh, I know your background. I know what questions to ask you. And so when I asked him questions, like Douglas Jenkins has pointed out,
Yes.
You could see it's like, oh, yeah, you could see him thinking, yeah.
Sydney Raptor says, you did really well. We did better here, but good on you, mate. Thank you so much. Welcome Isa to the stage, and I'm going to hand it over to you. Give us your thoughts. Who won the debate?
I'm sorry. It's got to be Big Country because he has a video game. He's got a video game. The conspiracy video game wins. I have to play that conspiracy game.
Maybe it's good. I don't know.
It's the same
And-
old, same old. We know what this is. We know where we stand on this space. So you know what I think about it. So it's the same old of these crazy debates.
And Earth is Live has volunteered to give you some footage and some pictures so you can have them handy there, Oz.
Okay.
Earth is Live, are you there? Have you come back from your shower? Sorry if I'm divulging too much information. Okay, looks like no. So let's go over big countries. Oh! I have to say that.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
think
go.
Oz, yes, Oz did really great. Oh, there we go. Let's who has that big of an echo?
It was
You
it's
or-
Earth is live.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
You got to mute the stream. Earth is live.
All right. If you want to tell us who won the debate for you,
Did you understand my argument at least? Like my opening? Did it make any sense? Or
yes.
cool.
Earth is Live, go ahead. Give us your...
I'm probably gonna go back and listen to the whole thing because I missed like a good portion of it. But from what I heard, it was pretty good. They always go to those NASA documents, but the thing about those NASA documents is that they mention gravity in all those documents. So if you're gonna accept those documents, you gotta accept gravity first. Oh, gravity also. Then he
Right.
mentioned for one of my super chats, I asked him about the container. Because gas pressure needs a container, and I asked about that radar should be able to detect this container. But he mentioned star trails. I don't know why he went to star trails for some reason. Completely off topic. I don't know. And also, Ozian, yes, there are pictures from space of Antarctica.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the blue marble shows most of it. And
Yeah. I think now there's other ones too, but you kind of have to look for them. But yes, there are pictures from space of Antarctica. I mean, and I always say, like, even if I could produce those for you, what are you going to say? You're going to accept them? You're probably just going to call them fake anyway.
All right. I was saying that Oz, to me, won the debate. He did great. It was a shame that the debate on the tides didn't happen, but well, to be fair, you have all the arguments covered. But let's go and discuss big countries opening, and I will start with Billy. Or wait, what did you think of Oz about big countries opening? Oz?
me?
Yeah. What did you
Oh,
think about his opening?
I deleted it. He just mentioned like all the major like pointers, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like all over the place, like no pressure gradient. Like he ignores the pressure gradient. I pinned him on that so good. Like I pinned him.
Yeah, that was
He had to admit it. He had to admit
was
it.
good.
Like I got him like with SF6 because he's an electrician. He knows that gas accelerates downwards. I got him
Yes, it
on
has to.
so many of those questions because he has the experience. He knows, and he knows
Mhm.
SF6 is a greenhouse gas because he gets training on it. He has to for his journeyman. He knows. He just
What does
denies it.
journeyman? What does journeyman mean?
He has it's a union thing where
Like a
you
tech
have so many
certification?
years. Yeah, he has so many years of experience where he gets qualified as an electrician.
I was
So-
an electrician, funny enough. I was an apprentice. So when you become a journeyman, you have to take like an exam. It's a lot of hard work, and you have to do a lot of stuff to do it.
Okay.
Like you have to do it more than like at least like 5 years of being an electrician, and you have to take an exam.
Okay. Billy, what did you think about the big countries opening?
Yeah, pretty much same old Nathan Oakley, a little bit of Nathan Oakley, Whitsitt, that Dearth guy, some of Eric Dubay, just a little bit of everybody mixed
Mhm.
into one little thing, scripted too, right? And they always complain about the scripted, but he was reading a script, so
Well, for the
not too much,
openings, it's
not
fair.
too
For
much.
the openings,
I know, but I mean, if you're gonna, that's hypocritical. Then if you're gonna say that it's you shouldn't be using a script and then you use a script. So I'm not using a
Yeah.
script right now. I mean, I could have made notes. I didn't have to though, especially for his opening. Yeah.
all right. Earthly Life, what did you think about Big Country's opening?
Like I said, again, I missed that part of the debate. But I could probably guess what he talked about, just like what you guys said. All the same memes we've all heard before. All the same arguments, nothing has changed. So I think I'm probably gonna go back and listen to it before I go to sleep.
All right. And Isa,
So he's talking about pressurized systems that were not in. There is no contained system. That was his argument. So I mean, I think it was It was a little bit newer than what I'm usually used to hearing, but I think we yield the same conclusions. But that was his nail in the coffin. So, right, that's the nail in the coffin on.
yeah,
With
as
Flutter.
everyone said, it was a standard opening, and it didn't cover anything really. It's just making the claims. No evidence whatsoever, no presentation, nothing. They don't have measurement. Because we measured flat, like where? Like a spirit level is not a measure. And it's, as Oz said, it's
Yeah.
local. It's just limited to like the portion of the length of the bar. And that's it.
One other thing I'm sorry I want to add, I think
Go ahead.
having a presentation would have really helped him. Like I think for these kinds of debates, having a PowerPoint presentation allows you to demonstrate what your arguments are. And if you're just stating it and you're saying, well, there's a pressurized system, well, what does that look like? Show us the diagram, show us how this works scientifically, mathematically. This is how these arguments are going to work. You got to show us in the math and you got to show us in the science. And if you don't, it just sounds like conjecture to me. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I see a debate and I see that of course the flat earther, they don't, most of the time they won't really have anything to show. So it's always good to have something to bring to the table. And you can, well, this is what I saw. This is what I filmed. Here's my evidence. Give us something to grasp onto instead of just regurgitating something that you heard from another flat earther.
This is a good question from Ashton.
What
If
did
I-
you
if
think
I
about
ever
the
get a chance to
moderator only tried to wrangle you?
It happens every debate I have on Modern Day Debate with Ryan. I get moderated every single debate, every single time.
All right, and now,
but I
go ahead.
I pinned him.
Oh.
He would ask me a question, I would answer, and Ryan would moderate me. Like he asked me a question, I answered.
Ozzy,
you're
you have to
not
get like
listening.
you have to get like a folder or something with like all types of like screenshots of things, short little videos. Like if someone's like, oh, can you show me this? And you can just pull it up real quick. You got to get like a folder with that, you have on the ready.
Yes, I told him that you volunteered to share some info with him, so we'll after
Yeah,
the show.
I've been trying to
work on
send you.
it.
Yeah, I've been sending you some stuff like if you check Discord, I've sent you a few things.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I'm trying to see, the problem with me is I have to understand it. I have to understand it.
Right. Yeah. So I'll like I said, if I send you something, I'll kind of explain what is going on. But the stuff I just sent you now was like the ISS. I sent a few pictures of like little snippets of the ISS from different vantage points. I sent you a little GIF
Oh,
from Astronomy Live.
Okay.
who filmed the ISS. He films all types of stuff. He filmed the ISS and he let me use that clip. But
Yes.
I've got a ton of things I can send you, man.
Okay.
Astronomy
Alright.
Live was here a couple of days ago, and I shared his channel. He does really
Oh, yeah.
impressive stuff. Really
Yeah.
impressive stuff.
Well,
Astronomy
see,
Live's the man.
I'm building a PowerPoint. I'm going to work on. I think I'm going to remove like the overlays and just do the videos, like I did. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to do slides for each one of my presentation, and then I'm just going to put them together in a video and just press play. And if they want to say I
Yeah.
can't play a video, to hell with
That's
them.
true.
I won't do it because I don't have like. Anyways,
Something
and I only
came up.
got 8 minutes. He only gave me like 6 minutes for my opening. Like I timed it. I timed my whole opening, and I missed. He only gave me 6 minutes. I missed 3 of my slides for my 10-minute opening.
I'm going to do
Oh, that's
before we
messed up.
move on to the next point of the after show. Something came up during the debate, and you probably didn't have it handy, but this is footage of the eclipse from space.
Yes.
Well, they want
Eclipse
to.
from space.
They want to see the sun. They don't want to see the shadow on the earth.
They want to see the sun. The sun is blocked by the moon, which they
They
don't
wanna
even think
s-
it's the moon. They think it's something else.
They want to see the sun blocked by the moon. That they don't want to
So
see
as-
that. That's not
as
what they
That's an
want to
such-
amazing
see.
shot.
That this is pretty epic.
That's
Well,
such
that's
an
not what they
amazing
want to
shot.
see, though.
And then it moves away. 'cause
They
it
want to
travels.
see the one on the left from space.
It will look the same.
Well,
It'll
that's
look
what
the
they
same,
want to
like-
see from space.
Huh.
And
Yeah, that's what
even
I'm
if
saying.
you told them it was from space, they wouldn't believe it was taken from
know.
space.
I know.
It's always funny when they always make these demands. Well, there should be a camera on the moon, or there should be more
I know.
cameras pointing at the Earth. Like,
moving
okay,
the
there are
goalposts.
plenty of cameras pointing at the Earth. You'd call those fake too.
They're always constantly moving the goalpost and it's whenever we show them, provide them proof or evidence of the
did
claim.
you-
Right.
Did you see how I got him on the lake with the lake water? Because I
Oh,
bet
I
he
missed that.
understands. He understands batteries. So he understands water is conductive and it's only pure water that's insulated for electricity. So he's listened to flat earthers explain that the sun is electric and the moon is magnetic, and somehow this causes tides even on, and that's why it doesn't cause tides on lakes. Yeah, we're in space. Yeah, so every eclipse is we're in space. There we go, quickie. Good point. So he says the reason why we don't have tides in lakes is because the lake water is not salty. I was like, wait. You're an electrician. You're an electrician. You know the lake water is not pure, so it conducts. You know people get electrocuted in lake water. You know this. You know this as an electrician. So I knew his knowledge, right? As an electrician. So it's like, and like the whole thing with the container, because he said the pressure of like nitrogen bottles were only felt on the walls of the container. It's like, wait. You've worked on nitrogen bottles, right? Nitrogen bottles? Where's the gauge at?
It's on top.
It's on the top.
Brenda had made a comment that he kind of dismissed the fact that the pressure sensor, the valve is in the middle.
No, but he admitted it later. I got him to accept it was true. And then I got him to accept when you overpressurize a container, it gets hot, then it gets cold, and it can turn into a liquid. And so it's the
Right.
molecules pressing together against each other. And then I said, well, what about can rockets go in a vacuum? And then he said, no, of course not. Wait.
Oh God. Yeah.
Wait.
I remember that part.
You just agreed to this concept a moment ago when we talked about molecules pressing off of molecules. So these molecules are pressing off the rocket. You just accepted this concept just a moment ago. It doesn't have to press off the container. So, but Ryan interrupted me, of course. because
All right,
Brian has to moderate me.
we're getting the MDD stream ended, and
Oh.
we're getting people from MDD. So hello, if you would like to join the panel, the link is pinned to the top of the side
What
chat.
about Ark?
We are anyone is welcome. We just keep it respectful here and no insults, if you please. So
I'm
comes.
surprised that he brought up the sulfur hexafluoride,
That's a
because
six, we
if you
call it.
think about it, right, you can put it in a tub or a bowl, and it's gonna sit inside there with no top on it. So where is the container? What, just
Yeah.
I mean, is an open top container a container for pressurized gas?
Yeah.
No, it's just sitting in there. It's not really pressurized. It's just kind of sitting in there. And guess what? It's not going up. It's going down.
Well,
And
SF6
even-
will go up. SF6 goes up to the atmosphere. It goes up through. There's a process where SF6 will mix with the other parts of the atmosphere. It's 25,000 times more of a greenhouse gas than CO2 is. So it's a controlled gas. You have to log it if you have any SF6 releases over so many pounds of SF6. And the utility companies that use it for insulation have to maintain it. They're actually thinking going back to like air or clean air, basically, or to vacuum bottles, large vacuum bottles. Anyways, going back to the SF6. So then I pinned him down on, but fill a canister half full of SF6 and then fill it with nitrogen and then pressurize the full container. That container the whole container of SF6 and nitrogen will be pressurized to whatever you're pressurized it to. So the SF6 and the nitrogen will be pressurized to that same gas pressure.
Yeah.
Now, it will mix. It will mix because it's the same pressure. Will the denser stuff settle at the bottom?
Yes.
I'm not. Yeah, but it will tend to mix some.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to discuss Oz's opening, and I'm going to skip you, Oz.
Maybe
Obviously.
Gen Salk is correcting something I don't understand. Let's see. As temperature decreases with altitude, so does velocity of gas particle, which have elastic collisions with gas particles with higher velocity below, acting as a container. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but that point about the pressure gradient not having containers within, that went this.
But I'm not playing this game as, this is an equivocation fallacy, Glenn Salk. It's an equivocation fallacy. When they say container, they mean like glass. They mean like a dome. They mean like a physical, solid barrier, physical, like a can, like a canister where you can, like a propane tank. So
yes,
it's an equivocation fallacy to concede the point that it's a container. The universe is not a container.
And just like I asked,
system.
if there is a container, if it's a container, it has to be a solid container.
Yes.
It has to be some sort of solid container.
Yeah.
And if it is a solid container, then radio should be able to bounce off this solid container.
Yeah, also some kind of supernatural or magic thing that's only other explanation for it.
Yeah, and the universe is not a container either. The universe is a system. So the universe is a system. There's no like physical barrier as far as we know. It's just a system when you're talking the laws of thermodynamics. So when we concede the point that there is a container, they're using a different meaning of the word for container. They mean like a can, like a propane tank when they say container. So when I say container, I don't mean like a propane tank. When they say container, they mean a propane tank. So it's equivocation.
Douglas Jenkins says, I have seen a demonstration of a gas tank with multiple gauges, top and bottom, which show a gradient even under pressure.
I've seen it too. But I was asking him. So I've seen that too, Douglas. So
All right, I'm going to hand it over to Billy. Give us your thoughts on Oz's opening.
Well, it was good. It was based mainly on the titles and gravity, right? Because that's what you prepared for. So
Oh, okay.
that's what we got, right? But it was pre-recorded.
What?
I remember your opening. I remember Kyle got in trouble for that one time.
Kyle was using pre-recorded videos to bash T-Jump.
Yeah, but yours was actually not bashing. So yeah, it was different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it was good. So yeah, I mean, there's no rules against that. So
All right, Earth is Life, give us your thoughts on Oz's opening.
I like I said, man, I kind of missed it, so I have to go back and
Oh.
watch that part.
Okay, no problem.
I'm sorry.
No,
By-
you don't have to
By
apologize.
pre-recorded, it was done like I just finished it right before the debate.
Isa, go ahead.
So to counter what the engagement that I said towards Big Country was engaged in Ozian's position, where he used a video, Feynman's lecture on gravity, and it had a lot of documented stuff about what gravity is. It had the mathematics. It had the stuff that I would be looking for. It also had PowerPoint presentation. It had slides, and it gave very clear, concise positions, like talking about tidal bulges and locking, Earth and moon dynamics, the Roche limit, fundamental concepts. This is the kind of stuff that we need in this kind of debate. This is a debate that has very case-sensitive, typical, kind of very specific nomenclature that needs to be engaged to really get it going. It's not just, there's a bit of esotericism that's in this type of debate. And I think that if you don't engage these kind of terminologies, like what Dr. J would say is like, I'm lost in the sauce. I don't know what the heck is going on here. I don't know what's being talked about. So with these particular conversations, just saying the words does not help. You have to define your words. You have to make it clear. And then a person on a repeat viewing can go back and look at the slide. People are like, oh, I don't like slides. No, but for this, for some debates, for this debate, you have to have slides. It's like a mandatory thing because it's so esoteric in nature. Unless you're a part of the field, you don't understand these things. So what I think Ozian did really well for me, as a person who's starting to learn more and more about this, because these debates keep coming, and that's what we talk about on the show. It's not particularly a topic that I'm very interested in personally, but since that's what we're doing on the show, I'm learning about it. You kind of need to have the science. You need to have your science.
Oh,
You need to have the math.
you invoked him.
I
Hey,
know, Dr. J. Dr. J knows exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about esotericism. That is what's going on here. So I think Ozian did that well, and I'll rest my case with that.
Hey, Dr. J, how are you? Did you
Great.
watch
Yeah, I didn't. I was trying to get through all the questions before I joined you guys, but I realized if I was watching double speed, but I probably wasn't going to make it, so I didn't see all the questions. But I saw the debate.
All right. We're discussing Oz's opening. What did you think about that?
I like his opening. Obviously, it was on tides, and so that was interesting in the sense I didn't know about tides, so I did enjoy that. It was something new. I did enjoy it. I assume if Oz was only ever going to do one debate on flat Earth, he might choose something else. But for me, who has now heard quite a few of these debates, I guess I appreciated it. Though, if I were going to only ever do one debate on flat Earth, I doubt I and probably Oz either would start with tides.
I talked about global warming too.
Oh, I heard it. That was awesome.
A couple times.
I was cheering. I was cheering for you.
But I did talk about how tides actually mitigate the global warming. They actually has a negative thermal effect because it spreads out the heat, which is actually sort of bad because it's actually what's causing the whole oceans to overheat over time. And then it's going to be It's going to lag the cooling effect too, because they're going to heat up. And then if we ever get to the point where we decrease CO2s, they're going to stay warm.
Yeah.
They're not going to cool very quick.
Hmm.
Sorry,
So,
I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Of this opening, I think it was really good. The only problem was that the overlay. I would
Yeah.
correct that for the next one, but other than that, it was on point. You did a lot of studying for the tide thing.
I
So-
did way too much studying for the tide thing. way
So-
too much studying. To the point
Next
that
time-
I learned that most people learned it wrong.
Yeah, you mentioned that there's a lot of incorrect information, even when people in educational videos and materials. Just wanted to remind everyone we're 20 days away from the rapture, and we will have some fun. Our good friend Max sends a 5 Singaporean dollar super chat. Hit that like button and vote for Isa or Witsi to become the next US president.
Oh God.
If
If that
to the
happens,
vote
I,
for
I
Issa.
feel so
Freedom
sorry.
Guardians.
I have no faith in humanity if that happens.
All right, we're going to go into the open discussion, and I'm going to. How did you feel during the open discussion, other than the fact that you got moderated a little bit?
I got a good question there. Okay, let me answer this question first, and then you can ask me that again. If gravity. I answered this question, Glenn, in my opening, but maybe you didn't understand it, so I'll answer it again. This is a good point to bring up. If gravity is a linear force, it is sort of. It extends an infinite distance, as Newtonian mechanics suggests. How could there possibly be a gravitational pull of a moon on the opposite side of the Earth? It is. So, but it's the inverse square law. So the acceleration towards the moon from the acceleration towards the moon at the Earth is different on the opposite side of the Earth. So if you imagine the whole moon or the whole Earth accelerating towards the moon, the side closest to the moon is accelerating to the moon quicker than the side furthest away to the moon. So if you just think about just simple concept, it's sort of like if there is sort of a fictional force is sort of like keeping the water going away from the moon. So the sum of those forces is what we call a tidal force. So that's causing the moon, the Earth to sort of elongate. That's what we call the tidal forces. So it's not centrifugal forces like a lot of people say. Centrifugal forces is about a rotating force. Tidal forces are not a rotating force. Centripetal and centrifugal forces are about rotating forces, either around the barycenter or about their orbits, or about their axes. Tidal forces are about the linear force towards the center, or from all parts of the mass towards the other part of the other mass.
He has a follow-up.
Yeah.
And it says inverse square is for radius value from center of mass.
It's not about the center of mass. It's about all parts of the mass towards all parts of the other mass. That's what tidal forces are about. Tidal forces, you have to consider all portions of the mass towards all portions of the other mass. So gravity is about that. But tidal forces in particular is about that. But we reduce it to orbits and axial rotation. Those forces we analyze sorted towards center of masses, but tidal forces we consider from all portions of the mass towards all portions of the other mass. Different. So it has nothing to do with centrifugal forces. My presentation is accurate. Now, it doesn't include all of the forces. I only reduced it to the tidal forces. I did not invent the squeeze force. It's like a pressure. It's like a pressure. The squeeze.
And he has another follow-up. Tidal forces are caused by mass attracting mass in your model.
Correct.
How does
And
tide
does it
move
change
opposite
direction?
direction on opposite side of Earth? And you explain this in your presentation.
It's not moving in the opposite direction. It's being left behind. It's not. It's actually not even being left behind. It's being squeezed in both directions. So the Earth is being pulled towards the moon and squeezing. So it's not even being pulled. It's being squeezed in both directions. So you imagine the Earth is being squeezed, and you get a big bulge towards the moon that leads the moon by 30 degrees, and a smaller bulge away from the moon that lags the moon by 150 degrees.
He'll ask the same question again.
Yeah,
He
left
asked it
behind. Yeah,
again.
he just explained it. So we're going to move on.
It's
All right.
not really left behind. It's
I mean,
being squeezed away.
He's able to join, right? I mean, if you
Yeah.
want to join, just join. You guys
Yeah.
can have the conversation.
Yes, after we finish with talking about the debate itself, we usually have an open discussion here.
Yeah.
The link is right there. If you want to join the stage, come on board.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear. A lot of educators in the past have been teaching it as if it's a centrifugal force, or not even teaching it at all. They just ignored the opposite bulge. So any confusion people have about tidal forces is understandable. It's been taught wrong.
What
For a long
says, I
time.
think Oz would make a great teacher. Thank you very
Thank
much. All right, open discussion. How did you feel about the open discussion, besides the moderation issues?
Oh, what did I think? I thought it went well. I thought I pressed him very, very well. I thought he learned, man. I thought I could see the wheels turning. I could see he was actually engaged. You could see him like really questioning his beliefs. I could see that. I don't know about you guys, but I saw him questioning his beliefs. I think he could see that maybe I can see him going back to these other people and say, well, what about this? 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 Because I do this for a living. He's right. Like lakes are dirty. Like you get electrocuted in lakes. And he's right. Salt water is diamagnetic. It should push the sinking sun and the moon. And generators are electromagnetic. They work together. They produce electromagnetic force, EMF. And how's the sun and the moon detached and produce electromagnetics somehow? And then electromagnetics are 90 degrees apart from each other. He's right. And how's this thing rotate? Like you haven't really. You could see like the wheel spinning. I love that. Like all these, and then the pressure thing in the container. Like, oh, it doesn't go against the container. Like, anyways, he still had to hold on to it with the stupid container thing. But whatever.
All right, Billy, give us your thoughts on the open discussion, or something in specific you want to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like you were in control of the debate the whole time, and Big Country was just kind of waiting for you to make the move, and he was always having to answer. Like, he didn't really push back, and he wasn't really asking enough questions, I think. And you definitely asked him a lot of questions and questioned what he believed. And then, like you said, you could see him, like, kind of, like, looking a little weird, and you're like, okay, well, maybe he's trying to figure out something, and then, like you said, maybe he's gonna change his mind. I don't like, maybe he's gonna be one of those flat earthers potentially.
All right, thank you very much. Isa, take it away.
I think about
Love the peace sign, by the way.
Oh, thank you. This is my job. I'm on call at my job, so this is my office. It's always this deep. It's like it's the same kind of thing over and over and over again. This kind of conversation, but in this particular debate, having listened to a lot of these flat earthers, I feel that there is a sincere conviction in flat Earth. I don't think this is just some bogus thing. I think people really believe in this. You know, I would think that for me it would be like sort of an educational like engagement. Like I'm going to do a counterpoint. Like as a lawyer, I would be like, what's the counterpoint for someone who believes in the globe? You know, and come from that avenue. But there's a community, and people really, really believe in this. And I think that that you see that. I think Big Country is very sincere in this belief, and it's hard because you go into these debates because you kind of want to prove that your position's right on this. But it's hard if someone can kind of counter your points and knows your points. And I think that's a difficulty for Big Country, and I'm kind of reinforcing what was already stated before, that there could be a shaking up, but it's very hard. How are you going to leave this space? Because it's not just a belief, it's a community. You're a part of this community. And if you deny flat Earth, it's like you're going to deny your whole community. You have to figure out a way to reinforce that even as someone challenges your belief. So that's kind of what I feel.
All right. Thank you very much. Dr. J, any thoughts on the open discussion during the debate?
I thought it was a classic case of the flat earther having to have lots of things explained to them because they don't quite follow, and then they make claims, and then it's like, no, that's not quite right, and then they're like, well, how is it? And then the globe earther ends up talking a lot more because they have to explain a lot of things. I actually didn't think the moderation was that bad. I thought Ozian talking way more did happen, but it wasn't really, it wasn't really Ozian's fault or anything, but the moderator I thought did fine, because for someone who's maybe not following super closely, it just feels like Ozian's talking all the time. So I thought the moderation was fine. Yeah, I didn't find it convincing. I mean, I'm the whole gradient thing. I'm like feeling like I'm understanding that pretty well now, and I just get bored of hearing that over and over again. It's like, yeah, okay, there's no real cutoff period. It's like this gradient thing, I get it, I understand, and they keep going back to it, and I'm like, no, it's this gradient thing. You have to explain some way or some test of why that doesn't work, and a lot of time was spent there, and so I think this is going to become another Mickelson Morley when we bring up the whole container thing. I'm gonna give a big eye roll and kind of hope it gets over pretty soon.
All right, thank you very much. And Earth is Life, give us your thoughts on the open discussion. You're muted.
Yeah, I caught a decent portion of it, not everything, but I'm gonna go back and listen. But just to piggyback off what the other guy said, yeah, it always comes back to like the claims that a lot of flat earthers make are rehashed, and like whenever someone says something like, let's say the container thing, right? It's been explained over and over and over again. They'll come back and make the same exact claim, and then you go and talk to somebody else, they'll make the same exact claim. So it's just a never-ending cycle of people learning about these same claims, and we can't keep having to say, no, that's wrong. That's not how it works. This is how it works. But yeah. Also, you guys were talking about, there was something about the rotation of the Earth. Let me see if I can pull something up real quick. Just so you know, Ozian, there's a place in Germany called Rami, right?
Yeah.
And they have ring laser gyroscopes underground, 14 meters underground, and they literally measure the rotation of the Earth at this facility. It's called Rami. So anytime a flat earther says, "Oh, the rotation of the Earth has never been measured," well, it's being measured as we speak, and here's the facility where they're doing it. Now, are you going to deny that the facility exists, or are you going to say that they're the people that work there? Are they lying about what they're doing there? I don't know. That's on you, man. So yeah.
Their counter is that Dayton
I'm going to
Miller,
share for.
Are you frozen, Max? I think I think Max is frozen. Yeah. Well, okay, he's gone. Their counter to that is Dayton Miller proved that if you go up in elevation to colder climate, you measure ether. And so that's why I said, well, show me your measurements and what the metering area is of the ring laser gyroscope, and they never provide it. That's why I counted that. So they already admit that the ring laser gyroscopes measure 15 degrees per hour, but they'll never provide you with the measurements that show this supposed ether drift at higher elevations.
Yeah.
And the dome can't be 25,000 miles high. Okay.
Yeah.
We can
But
go
anytime,
to the moon, so we know that's not true.
anytime flat earthers bring that up, I always bring up the same location where they actually film. Well, not film. I'm sorry, where they actually measure the rotation of the Earth. So deny that. Just say they're lying about it. I mean, that'll be your only argument.
No, they accept it's true. They accept ring laser gyroscopes measure 15 degree per hour rotation. They just think it's the universe that causes it, or the ether
But how
that
is it?
causes it.
But how is it measuring it 14 meters below ground?
They think it's the ether that somehow. Well, no, because I don't know, man. They're weird.
Yeah.
They don't have a good explanation.
I
for
shared our good friend Earth is Life's channel in the side chat right there. So if you want to give him a follow, and he has some awesome videos, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what you can see in his channel. He has this video in which he shows for this location planes going under the water, and we'll see very shortly here. You have the location for this and where
this
you
is
are,
in Hawaii.
where you are.
Yeah, so this is.
Here we'll see a plane taking off from the water.
Yeah.
Ring laser gyroscopes don't measure electromagnetic fields.
So
they measure...
this location right here is where I made a lot of observations. But at the time when I was making those observations, that airport, there was no airplanes taking off in that airport. But then I realized, like, oh wow, they actually started using that part of the airport. So I went over there and waited for an airplane for about a good 30 minutes. I waited, and then bam, here it comes. So yeah.
What is your background, anyways?
This right here. This is actually that same location.
No, your education background. I like.
High school, man.
Okay.
Just high school. I'm actually in the military.
Oh.
You know, the flat earthers hate that. They hate that.
I know. What service?
Yeah.
Army. I've been in for 14 years.
Electromagnetic fields don't cause interference patterns for light.
Correct. Shifty eyes, why is it taking off over a curve? You just saw it in the video. You see there's the water, and it comes from below the water. That's the curve, dude.
Let me tell Glenn Salk. Let me explain how you could test this as you're at Flat Earthers. Go get that ring laser gyroscope from from
Bob.
Well, no, Bob Odell passed away, so maybe their estate has it or whoever has it over there. And it's not very hard to create an electromagnetic field and then turn it. Tell you what, go underneath a 220 kV power line. 220 kV power line produces an electromagnetic field. And then, I respect, he just had word belief. Go under a power line and turn the ring laser gyroscope and see if you measure it turning through the electromagnetic field. Go control for the independent variable of an electromagnetic field and see, or no, you wouldn't want to turn the ring laser gyroscope. Turn an electromagnetic field through the ring laser gyroscope and see if it gives you an interference pattern. That's how you do science. That's how you do science, Glenn.
BTF Wayne says, "Thank you for serving, brother. Earth is life." And I have a
Appreciate it.
couple of other comments I want to show to the audience. Douglas Jenkins says, "I think you had him worried when you were talking about electricity and dielectric."
Diamagnetics.
Diamagnetics, yes.
Because he knows. When I was talking about how massive the oceans were, and then how small and local the sun and the moon's supposed to be, the movement of the tides of the oceans, because he knows Lenz's law, and he knows how electromagnetics work with Lenz's law, because he probably works on electromagnetic relays, so he knows that the oceans, if the sun and the moon is small and local, that the oceans should be moving the sun and the moon, not the other way around.
Mhm.
So he's thinking though you can see the wheel turning in his head. You can see it, like, right? He's like, he stopped. Well, we don't really know what's causing it, right?
No,
That's just good.
Glenn-
He's honest.
Glenn is having a big problem understanding stuff. He's saying the exact opposite. He's saying that magnetic fields and electric fields will not affect the
No,
ring laser.
it's not electric and magnetic fields. AC power lines produce E and H electromagnetic field around the power lines. So
the right hand law.
yeah, I'll tell you what. All you have to do is produce your own electromagnetic field. Make an electromagnetic field. Go build one. Build an EMF generator. Go build a radio. Transmit it and turn it and see if it spins your ring laser gyroscope. You said ring laser gyroscopes measure a 15 degree per hour shift rotation due to electromagnetic fields. Falsify your claim. You need an IV and a DV. Your independent variable is electromagnetic fields. Build a Faraday cage, which will isolate you from electromagnetic fields. And inside the Faraday cage, build an electromagnetic field generator. And then rotate the EMF generator so the ENH lines will cut through your ring laser gyroscope and see if it will measure an interference pattern on the ring laser gyroscope. If it doesn't, guess what, Glenn? Guess what, Glenn? The ring laser gyroscope measures Earth physical rotation. Your ether cosmology is debunked, is refuted. That would be your null hypotheses. So do it. Hypothesis 1. H1, if I create if I build an Faraday cage to isolate from external EMF, and I build an EMF generator and I turn it and around the ring laser gyroscope, I should get an interference pattern, right? Guess what Bob Nodell did? He put the ring laser gyroscope in a Faraday cage to isolate it from
I
EMF.
put it in a bismuth. Wasn't it a bismuth?
Yeah.
Like bismuth or
a
something.
business housing.
Yeah. Guess what
Yeah.
happened? He
Nothing.
measured 15 degrees per hour shift.
Yep.
Which
Still
means
measured
he isolated himself from electromagnetism, and he still measured 15
They
degrees
did
per hour
everything they could.
rotation.
They did everything they could to make that thing not measure
Yeah.
15 degrees per hour.
So Bob Nodell falsified either cosmology. He already falsified
All
it.
right. So next we have two comments that are related. The
Faraday
first one is
cage doesn't isolate from eternal electromagnetic. You have to have an eternal source. You don't know what you're talking
Just
about.
let you know, I have the conversations between Bob and a few other individuals that when they were around the time when they were doing that. I have all the conversations from that.
Yeah.
Douglas Jenkins says BC Big Country revealed at the end what he really drives his flat earth stance because he has to protect God. And James says the elite need you to think you're on a ball because this is a human slave farm with no escape if it's a ball. It's actually the other way around. If you're in a dome that you cannot exit, that's where you don't have escape. We send satellites out. We do space travel. There's at some point probably going to be space tourism. So both of these claims are really weird because the globe doesn't falsify God in any kind of way. And actually, it would make more sense that you see other planets, you see other galaxies with other planets, and we see everything being round. Why would Earth be any different? And in any case, it doesn't falsify God in any way. It's baffling that you think that. And me as an atheist, us as an atheist, we don't think that the globe falsifies God in any way.
Yeah, and I don't hate Elon Musk either. So he creates he creates a close to free speech platform. He bans hate speech, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, like, in the U.S., hate speech is allowed, but I understand, like, on X,
I like
I'm okay
Elon
with
Musk.
banning hate speech.
And
Yeah, I like
James
Elon Musk.
gives us another message and says they were talking about rocket propulsion and says that third law, action reaction, only when air is present. And again, this is false. The third law says nothing about air, nothing at all.
Right.
If you stand on a skateboard and you throw a ball, you go backwards on the skateboard. And you're not
Exactly.
pushing
I've
against
done
air,
that
you're
too.
pushing against the ball. It's the opposite force pushing you. So again, this is another
Oh.
misconception.
Um,
Yeah,
And
I've actually done that too.
Infrared radiation doesn't rotate. There you go. So if you got radiant energy inside the Faraday cage, it's not rotating. So it's not going to cause your ring laser gyroscope to rotate at 15 degrees per hour. You can measure to see if it's rotating. Measure, put a device in there to measure all of the rotations of all your EMFs to see how they're rotating. There, done.
And
Easy.
our good friend Whodunit says, you can be electrocuted in a lake, alluding to something that was said during the debate. I had that happen. I was in Lake Superior during a storm, and for some dumb reason, my dad jumped in and said, join me. The lightning hit many kilometers away.
No.
I sure as shit felt it. So good to have you with us, buddy.
Electrocuted means you died, though. It's electric shock, because
Well,
electrocuted
he
would
got
mean
shocked, yeah.
you're electrically executed. That's what electrocution is.
Yes, evidently he didn't die because he's here. So yes, you're correct. Yes, he got shocked. All
It
right,
means injured. Electrocuted means injured or kill. You can electrocuted means injured too, because we always see electrocute in the Navy or in
Electric execution. That's what it.
Well, that's a
it comes
term,
from.
but I just looked up the dictionary definition for electrocute. It says injure or kill.
Mr. Sir says some fishermen use electricity to stun fish in the water in mass.
That's cruel. That's so cruel.
Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, and send this video to a friend. And if you're a flat earther, the guys that we have on the side chat, if you want to join, the link to join the stage is right there. You can come and talk to us. We're all cool people. There's not going to be insults or anything. Just feel this is a safe space for everyone. You can come on board and have a conversation. If you want, sorry. Why isn't this working?
Who's Taco? I know Taco. He's the atheist, isn't he? Yeah.
Glenn, if you want to come on stage, we can talk about this stuff that you have questions about. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm going to go to bed though. I need to go to bed.
We're past that though. The question is the Earth rotating or the magnetic field rotating?
There's no infrared's not rotating.
No, well,
you can measure it. Put a device in there to measure the magnetic field from infrared is rotating. Measure it. Isolate for all other variables and
So
isolate.
now a ring. Is he saying a ring laser gyroscope will pick up a magnetic field?
Yeah, the
from
rotation of the magnetic
infrared.
field.
He's just coping right now.
Well,
A little bit. But Douglas brings a good point. A mechanical gyroscope doesn't test for electromagnetic field, and also that is true. And a
Exactly.
mechanical gyroscope will do the same thing as the laser ring.
Yeah. A Foucault's
He's grasping his-
pendulum,
grasping
mechanical
his straws.
gyroscope.
keep grasping at those straws.
Yes, you can induce an electromagnetic field that's larger than the Earth's field over the distance. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you know what the net charge of the Earth's electromagnetic field is, Glenn? Can anybody on the panel guess what the Earth's net electric charge is?
No, sorry. I
No,
don't.
0.
it's beyond zero. Okay.
The total
0.
charge. Yes.
I think
what do you know
Witsit
what
might
the
disagree
strength-
with you.
Do you
Witsit
know
might
what the
disagree with you.
strength? Do you know what the strength of the Earth of the magnetic field, the one that gives us the compass alignment?
Mhm.
What's
Is
that?
there do you know the strength of the? Because you said that Earth charge is 0. Okay, how about the strength of the magnetic field of the Earth?
The electromagnetic field?
Yes.
0.
No, that's the overall charge of the Earth.
Yeah, 0.
What is it?
0.
Just tell us. What is it?
No, I'm asking him because he knows.
Oh no, I don't.
0.
Is
No,
it?
but
Okay.
the field that gives you the compass alignment, that can we quantify that?
That's the magnetic field.
The overall charge would be 0.
Yeah, the overall charge for the electric potential of the Earth, yes, I understand that. But do we know the strength of the Earth's magnetic field?
0.
No, but that's the electric.
No, it's all 0. You mean the electromagnetic field is 0?
Like the strength of the magnet. Like
What magnet?
that's what he's asking. The
Okay,
magnetic field of the Earth.
Earth field ranges between approximately 22 and 67 UT. What's UT? Tesla? What's the unit for
No,
that?
is that a measurement of a magnetic field?
Yes, I think so. Hold on. Yes.
What,
all right.
0.5 Gauss or something is what Failzoid said. I don't know. But the net effect is 0 even for your compass because it points in 2 directions, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But let me find the share thingy.
I'm sort of being pedantic, I guess, but like it's 0.
Here. Oh, wait. Let me add this to the stage. There we go. Here it says from 25 to 65 UT, 025 to 065 G. As
Oh,
an
micro Teslas.
approximation, it's represented by a field of a magnetic dipole tilted at an angle of about 11 degrees with respect to Earth rotational axis.
Yeah.
This is what I
Strength-
was asking.
The strength of a magnetic field is measured in Teslas or micro
Teslas.
Teslas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the U is micro. Yeah, sorry, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Our good friend Max has gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Max. Let me see who they fell onto. Shoot, my chat isn't scrolling. Okay, I'm not going to read the 10, but if you got hit by Max's gift, be sure to thank him, Max. One of our
confused.
great audience members.
Somebody wants me to share a video. Let me look at it.
Okay. Google 1892 standard map of the Earth. All right, let's see where this goes. 1892 standard map of the Earth. The Gleason map. Yeah, we'll know that. Hold on, let me share. It's nothing we haven't seen before, James.
You mean the one that they call a straw man whenever we point out its flaws?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah. And I'm going to tell you my objection with this map. Okay? So I live in Uruguay, that's in the south.
Yeah.
When you look at the Southern Cross, it points this way. So you can have someone in Uruguay and in South Africa, or in Uruguay and in Australia, or in Australia and South Africa, and they look at the Southern Cross and it points to the south in all locations. So you have 3 locations that span the whole globe, and with 2 of them at the same time, you can have them be looking in the same direction. This is impossible in a flat Earth. Absolutely impossible,
Right.
because if you look south, you're looking here, you're looking here, you're looking here, and the star is like a cross like this. So it has one of the sticks points south, and there's no way that can happen on a flat Earth. On the globe,
Right.
since the constellation is far away, you can have it being pointing south and everyone looking at the same thing at the same time. You can't have 3 of
Right.
them because there's always one in daylight, but you can make
You
the
can have 2 of 'em.
experience. You can have 2 of them and then rotate the 2, and you can do a triple verification with all 3 points.
Yeah, so I think I made a video short for Flatzoid regarding this. And I think it was South Africa and I think also I forget what the 2 places, but they're only separated by about 7 hours.
Yes.
So they would both be in nighttime the same time. So you could look south at those 2 places and see the southern rotation. Not possible on flat Earth. That should be the end of the debate right there. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
we're still here.
I love that the South is a thorn on the flat Earth side that they cannot shake. They have to lie about the South. They lie about planes. They lie. They said that distances don't work in the South, and it's like, dude, I can drive 100 kilometers and get to where I'm going. We have GPS. We have everything here.
So
the
and
thing
what-
about
James,
Go ahead.
who's they?
I went deep dive into dynamic theory of tides, and at the equator. So tidal theory, they do cosmological modeling for tidal theory when we're looking at exoplanets and stuff like that. What tides would look like in other planets in Goldilocks zones, and like the movie they made, they say, no, that's bullshit. We know the giant tide. The giant tidal wave, because the ocean would have to be really, really deep for that to happen. Anyways, so for tides to happen for amphidromic zone, now I forgot amphidromic point to happen on equator. Amphidromic point on the equator, the oceans would have to be much deeper than they actually are, or the tidal forces would have to be much more severe than they actually are, and like, there's no answer for why the amphidromic points rotate in the opposite direction in the southern hemisphere either. So you know why they don't appear along the equator? You know why?
Why?
Because the oceans are not deep enough, and we rotate too fast along the equator, so that the 1,080 miles per hour. I think the limit for Earth is 700 miles per hour. So in any place on Earth that's rotating more than 700 miles per hour, you can't have an amphidromic point. There's something like that. So you take the tidal node or whatever they do or whatever they divide it by 20. And then they do all this funky math. And it's just like they don't know for certain, but they got like these rough estimates for how amphidromic points would form based upon the depths of the oceans, the width of the oceans, and the axial rotation of the Earth, and the tidal forces acting upon the Earth. And they can sort of map out how many amphidromic points there would be on the Earth. It's pretty cool stuff. Degrees per hour. What did I say, Jeff C? Whatever. Degrees per hour. Okay.
You said
No. It's not. Is it degrees per hour? No. It's miles per hour. Oh, maybe it is degrees per hour.
No,
But
it's degrees per hour.
What?
but the guy in the presentation was saying miles per hour. But maybe it is supposed to
Because
be.
they use the tangential velocity. But I wanted to say something.
But it might
regarding
actually
that.
be degrees per hour. But the guy in
If
the
you do,
presentation converted it to miles per hour.
when they
but
say
whatever.
that the Earth is rotating 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, that's fine.
Okay.
That's the tangential velocity. That's okay. But if
Mhm.
you do the math for the rotational speed in
Rotation
RPM,
year.
it's 0.00064 RPMs.
Right.
My vinyl decks right
694.
there, my vinyl decks right there, they spin at 33 and 45
Oh, no.
RPMs. That's way faster than the Earth spins.
No, it's not the 15 degrees per hour. It's the miles per hour.
Yes.
It is the speed. It is the speed that determines it. Because all parts on the Earth are rotating at 15 degrees per hour.
Mhm.
So that's not it. It's not the 15 degrees per hour. I'm telling you. Well, at least according to the deep dive I did into cosmological amphidramic points, like for exoplanets, like for analysis of what we would expect on exoplanets, they're trying to apply it to Earth to explain why we have 15 amphidramic points and why they're at where they are based upon the basins, the depth of the basins on Earth, and the width of the ocean floors on Earth, and the distance of the moon, and the location of the sun. And we have shallow tides on Earth. So our oceans are shallow. Anyways, so it
all right,
is based
so-
upon the linear speed, not on, or it's based on the speed, not on the rotation, the degrees per hour. I know people are getting upset when I say that, but that's why we don't have any. Look it up. We don't look. Do we have
Wait.
any amphidramic
That's
points on the
because
equator?
surface- Wait.
No, you said no, and I trust you.
What did that guy Glenn say? I thought something
Yeah,
just
he was
popped up.
saying that
That's because
that's
surface.
because the surface area of a 2D circle is mathematically interchangeable with a 3D sphere, but you
Is
said
it though?
a model.
Is it? Is it though, Glenn? I don't think so, because if you
That's
take a
incorrect.
3D object, if you take a 3D object and try and project it onto a 2D surface, you're going to get distortions. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of obvious.
And then he gave us this lovely pair. Globes aren't maps. Globes are the most accurate maps. The ones that
Yep.
we use in paper form
So what is
are
Google Earth?
it's because they're useful.
There are maps. This is a
So
map right
if
here.
you take a 1 inch by 1 inch square out of a globe, there's your map. Looks flat, doesn't it?
Hey, but don't quote me, because I was trying to fact check this guy. I didn't include it in my presentation because I was trying to fact check it. I couldn't find like any sources for the fact check. So, anyways.
All right.
Yeah.
Oz, you said you were going to bed, so let's go around. I'm going to start with Dr. J, give our final thoughts, and we will wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight with us. And Dr. J, take it away.
Thought you did a nice job. I enjoyed the other debater. I didn't get silliness. I thought the moderation was fine. So, as far as flat debates, Earth debates go, giving it a thumbs up.
All right. Thank you very much. Earth is Life. Thank you for being here with us today through the watch party and everything. Take it away. Final thoughts.
Hey, appreciate you guys allowing me to be here. I don't know. I'll be here for the next one also. Keep up the good debates, Ozian. Hopefully, here in the near future, I'll be doing my actual first debate. I finally put together a decent PowerPoint slideshow, which should be pretty awesome, and has a lot to do with 24-hour sun and flights in the Southern Hemisphere, all that good stuff. So hopefully someone will step up to the plate and decide they want to debate me. So, but yeah, thanks for the show, man.
All right.
Hey,
We'll have you.
We'll
we'll
host one
definitely-
here if you can't find another plates too. And any flat earthers watching this now or later, hey, we do one here too.
Yeah, the email is right there below Dr. J, ocean7@gmail.com. If you have a debate, you would like to debate us, you would like to debate me, you would like to debate Earth is Live, Dr. J, or Isa, or Billy, we can set that up. We're open, and we're trying to start a little bit of a debate Saturday thing. So if you're interested, just send us an email and we'll take care of that. I have sent Earth is Live's channel. If you can, give him a follow. He makes really cool videos, and we appreciate the info that he puts out. Isa, give us your final thoughts, please. I'm not sure. Maybe he's busy. Let's go to Billy, and then we'll double back.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to debate anybody anytime soon. I'd have to. Depends on the topic, maybe.
Sorry.
Well, maybe depending on the topic, though. I'd have to consider what topic.
Sorry,
it is.
I put you on the spot.
Well, no, but I guess it depends on who it is too, right? If they're more on my level, maybe. But anyways, good show again. Good job, Max. Good job, everybody on the panel. Good job, chat. Ozian, definitely good job. Big Country. He's definitely one of the more tolerable flat earthers, I have to say, though. He's definitely not the worst one. He at least has a job that's requires some thinking, critical thinking. So, I mean, he has to do at least some kind of he's definitely not the worst one. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks, though.
All right. Thank you very much. Oz, final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah, thanks for hosting this, Max. Thank you everybody for coming out and watching this. I really enjoyed the debate. I like Big Country. He was a fun guy to talk to. Taco wants me to share a video if people like Jim Bob or his arguments for against atheism, and want to see a review from an atheist of his content. I'm going to post it. Taco hosts a show on politics and religion. So go check that out. He's a longtime friend of mine from Modern Day Debate and the debate sphere and stuff like that. So go check it out.
All right.
When you're done with this.
So you have the link there in the side chat. And before I give my final thoughts, I'll do a little housekeeping. This week we had a bunch of content. We had a pre-show that ended up not happening because Need Pride didn't show for the debate. We did a 2-part review of the InfoWars debate between Whitsitt and Harrison. The first part, I think, was on Tuesday. On Tuesday. Wednesday, we had the Tell Me That Story show. We talked about 2 crazy sultans from the Ottoman Empire, increasing our catalog of crazy princes, kings, and rulers. We had a debate on Friday between Brenda and Flatsoil. It was a really nice conversation right until the very end, which got Flatsoil banned from the channel. Too bad. If you can't behave, you're gone. And then on Sunday, Saturday, we had MC Toon and Takori had the pre-show and the after show. And then yesterday, we did the second part of the InfoWars review of the debate between Harrison and Whitsitt on InfoWars. Thank you, everyone, for being here. The watch party was awesome. As expected, everyone was in their best behavior. We cracked some jokes, had some fun, and yelled some things as the debate was happening. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, Oz is going back to his regular series, Reschooling Flat Earthers on Ether Cosmology. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is on Wednesday. And then next Saturday, we're going to have a debate between moral realism and anti-realism between Brenda and DB. Brenda, who we are all familiar with, great debater, and DB. DB is also a great debater and a cool guy, so it's going to be awesome to have him here hosting a debate with him on the channel. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Click the share, like, subscribe, send it to your grandma, send it to your significant other, to your friends, and share the content. It helps us a lot. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.